I finally hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel, and I want to give a big shout out to everyone that has supported me along my journey. I started my channel back in April of 2023, but I really didn't start taking it very serious until about 5 or 6 months ago. And that's the time frame where my channel has experienced the most growth. So in today's video, I want to go over some of the things that I've learned since starting this channel that have helped me grow to hit my initial milestone of 1,000 subscribers. So if you're thinking about starting a channel or you have a small channel, then I hope that these tips that I'm going to go over in today's video will help you to grow your channel as well. Now, before I get started, leave a comment down below and let me know, how long have you had your YouTube channel? How many subscribers do you have? And what type of content do you create? This will allow people that are watching this video to see the type of content that you create, and they may actually go over and check out your content and subscribe to your channel. So for example, if you like to watch cooking content and you see that someone has left a comment down below that that's the type of content that they create, reply to their comment, let them know that you're gonna go over to their channel and check out their content. And if you like it, then I would suggest that you subscribe to their channel. Now, I'm absolutely not asking people to do sub for sub. That's absolutely not what I'm doing here. As small content creators, we have a unique opportunity to not only support each other, but to actually go over and consume the content that we're already watching. Tip number one is start before you're ready. I remember when I was thinking about starting this channel, I went on the YouTube and I tried to find any and every video that I could find that talked about tips or tricks or best practices when starting a channel. And now when I look back at that, I realized I was just procrastinating. I was making excuses of why not to actually just start making content. I remember just thinking about, oh, I don't have the right camera. I need a microphone. I need to get lighting. I need to do all of this stuff in order to get started. And when I look back at it, like I said, it was me making excuses to not make content. And if you're thinking that there's going to be a perfect time for you to actually create content or just to start a channel, it's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be perfect. And you're always just going to be sitting there just waiting for that perfect time that will never come, which means you will never create content and you'll never start this YouTube journey. Tip number two is do not try to be a perfectionist. Now, this was something that was extremely difficult for me to actually understand. I remember when I first started this channel, it would take me 2 to 3 hours to film enough content to have a 6 to 8 minute video. And the end result is my videos weren't even that good. Like, I can critique myself and I'm okay with that. But when I go back and I look at my videos, because I leave all my videos up, they just weren't very good. But I leave them there because I like to go back to see where I started to where I'm at today. I like to gauge my progress, and that's how I do it. And I also leave them up there because maybe it'll encourage someone that's new to go back to see where I started and to actually see where I'm at today. Because 12 months from now, I'm gonna be much better at creating content than I am today. And you will too. So we definitely don't wanna be a perfectionist because it will kill your desire to create content. Tip number three is losing your YouTube voice. Now, this was a concept that I really didn't understand. I mean, what's a YouTube voice, right? And I didn't understand that until I was talking to one of my neighbors who actually is a subscriber to my content. And he said, hey, I watched your videos and that's just not you. That's not you. And I had to think about that for a little bit. And I went back and I started watching my content and I was like, you know what? He's right. I don't talk like that. I don't sound like that. I don't act like that. And really what your YouTube voice is kind of like your corporate voice, right? When you go into an office and the way that you speak, the way that you pronounce things are a little bit different than when you're at home relaxing with friends and family and you're just having normal conversation. And that was extremely difficult for me to actually incorporate into my channel. And I find myself kind of slipping back into my YouTube voice every now and then, but it's something that I'm working on. But actually, being my normal self, being authentic has helped me grow. I really truly believe that over the past 5 or 6 months, every time I show up on camera, I'm being my true authentic self. And I think that's more relatable to people. I think people can kind of see through when you're trying to be somebody that you're really not. People can actually tell. I really believe that. So One thing that you should be working on as you're trying to build your channel is actually working on being your true authentic self. And it's gonna be difficult because we all wanna put on a show once this camera comes on. But as you continue to film and you put in those reps and you're practicing and you're getting better, it'll actually start to come more natural. Tip number 4, our titles and thumbnails are extremely important. So whenever I started my YouTube journey, whenever I was going and I was doing my research, like what are the things that are extremely important? For some reason in my mind, I was like, you know what? I have to be a pro on camera. I have to be a pro on camera. And once I'm a pro on camera, then the views will come. And then I would create videos and it would get 15 views, 20 views, 25 views. And although my content wasn't great, I mean, I was improving with each upload and I couldn't understand what the issue was until I started focusing more on thumbnails. So I started putting more time and more thought and more emphasis on how my thumbnails look. Now, the thumbnails that I make today are much better than the one I first started out, but I still have a long way to go, but I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to understand how important it is, right? It's like the packaging. When you look at a book or you look at a movie, if you like what you see on that cover, it's gonna entice you to watch that movie or to read that book. And that was the mindset that I had to put myself into, is whenever I'm scrolling through YouTube and a video catches my eye, it's that thumbnail that catches my eye. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And then I start reading the title and I'm like, oh, okay, that title is interesting. And it makes me want to actually watch the video. And when I started doing that, my views started to go up. Now, I do still have videos that may only have 150 views or 500 views, and that's fine because every view is not gonna go viral, and viral could be, 1,000 views or 5,000 views, depending on the number of subscribers that you have. Not every video is gonna do well. But one thing you wanna make sure that you're focusing on early out the gate is actually creating really good thumbnails and titles. Because if you don't have good thumbnails and titles, no one's gonna watch your content. So even though you may be improving on camera, if you have a bad packaging, nobody's gonna watch. So the views won't come and the subscribers won't come. And I can tell you, creating better thumbnails and titles over the last 5 to 6 months is where I saw most of my growth. I mean, I started looking at my analytics and I saw it over the past 5 to 6 months where I put more of a focus on titles and thumbnails. I saw the results in the number of subscribers that I have. The next tip is researching the type of content that your ideal audience wants to watch. So when we first start our channels, we know that this is an outlet for us to be creative and create the type of content that we want to put out to the world. And I think that's fine. You should still do that. But in order to grow on YouTube, you have to give people what they want. So one of the things that I didn't do early out of the gate is I didn't research the type of videos that my audience would like to watch. And I saw that in my results when I would get 5 views, 10 views, 25 views. And I really didn't understand why. It was because I was creating content that people weren't looking for. So one of the things that I actually started to do is I started to do some research right on YouTube. Now, YouTube has a pretty good tool right now. They give you a lot of information that you can use to research the type of content that your audience or your potential audience wants to watch. You can go into your analytics tab and under the inspiration tab, they give you a good idea of the type of videos that your audience watches. And this will give you a wide range of videos and topics that you can research and that you can actually create content on. So if you have some information or some knowledge about a particular topic that your audience is looking for, then you have an opportunity to make a video that will actually serve that audience. And that's actually gonna start to help your channel gain traction, because when people are looking to solve a problem or they're looking for an answer, they're gonna see your video and they'll go over there and they'll watch. And if they like your content, they may actually go into your channel and they may watch other content that you had created previously. So it's a win-win. You're giving people what they want, but you're also creating the type of content that you want to create. So whenever they watch that video that they're actually searching for and they go into your channel and they see something that you just created because you wanted to share it with the world, then that's going to draw more people in to actually watch your content. The next tip is not to rely on services such as vidIQ and TubeBuddy to grow your channel. I'm not telling you to not go out and subscribe to one of those services because I think they're extremely helpful. But I don't want you to subscribe to those services thinking that's all you have to do in order to grow your channel. If you're not creating content that people want to watch, it's not going to matter what services that you use. And I think small YouTubers often get caught up thinking that there's a way to actually beat the system. There's a tip or there's a trick that's going to allow you to skip the line and actually get you to your first milestone. And I'm here to tell you that that doesn't exist. YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. And for me, it's been one of the most challenging yet rewarding things that I've ever done in my life. There are no shortcuts when it comes to building a channel. So again, if you want to use one of those paid services, I'm not telling you not to do it. I just want you to understand that you use that as an additional tool in your tool belt, and it's not going to be the end all be all that's going to help explode your channel overnight. The next tip is consistency. Now, I'm sure that you've heard lots of other people make videos and talk about the importance of being consistent when it comes to YouTube. And I can tell you that they're absolutely right. Being consistent and showing up lets your audience know that you're going to be pumping out content that they actually want to watch. And it's also going to help you improve your on-camera presence and make you just an all-around better YouTuber. There's only one way to get good at this, and that's being consistent and putting in the rep. It's like shooting free throws. If you ever played basketball before, a lot of coaches at the end of practice would give you an exit fee. And that exit fee could be, hey, you got to make 50 free throws in order to leave and go home after practice. And I kind of view creating content similar to that. You have to put in the reps to actually get better because there's no other way to get better on camera is putting in the reps. And the next tip is engaging with your community. So you've put in the work, you uploaded a video, and you start to get comments on that video, and people are leaving comments and asking questions. You want to make sure that you're engaging with them. On my videos, I try to answer and respond to every single comment that someone leaves on my video. If someone has not only taken time out of their day to watch your content, but to actually leave a comment, then I think that they deserve a response from you. Now, as your channel starts to grow, it may be a little bit more difficult to respond to every single comment, but as of right now, I am trying to respond to every single comment that someone leaves on my videos, even if the comment is critical. You're not always gonna receive encouraging comments. You may receive some negative comments, but you have to actually look at the comment for what it's worth. If somebody leaves a negative comment, but it's true, you could use that information to help yourself improve. So just because it's a negative comment, don't write it off immediately. Read and evaluate every single comment because the people that are taking the time out to leave those comments can actually help you to continue to grow. So there you go. These are some of the things that I have implemented over the past 5 or 6 months that have helped me to hit my initial milestone of 1,000 subscribers. And there are the things that I'm going to continue to do to get my next 1,000 subscribers. So if you got some value from this video, consider subscribing. And while you're at it, hit a like button for the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.